Bryce can duplicate what he was able to do a week ago. He was sensational last week in their win over DC. 13 of 18, 188 yards, couple of touchdowns. He ran it for 76 yards, and he'll have the ball first. So we get to see this great defense against Bryce Perkins right away.
And from the 5-yard line, Michigan with Devin Ross tripped up before he can get to the 25. Nico Bolton with an outstanding tackle on special teams. And here comes Bryce Perkins, the most electric player this year in the UFL.
Yeah, this offense is RPO based, and he does it incredibly well. He's obviously elusive on the outside, but I don't think it's his elusiveness that has really benefited him the most. It's actually his strength in the pocket, his ability to get away from rushers, stay upright, and extend the play. If he can do that today, then the Renegades are in for a long day.
On first down, it's Tawa who gets the carry, and we talk about Bryce Perkins. Toa Tawa has been a big part of this Michigan offense, as well as we check out, Joel, some of the players to watch today, and Toa's one of those.
Yeah, Toa Tawa is a back that is really getting the bulk of the carries now. 94 yards a week ago. McCrary will also be in there. And then on the opposite side, two guys that I think both are up for UFL Defensive Player of the Year. Chris Odom, 8 tackles for loss. He's been outstanding in the front, and Ajane Harris has been sensational in the secondary. I don't think anybody has been better from a defensive back perspective in the UFL this year.
Second down at 9. Perkins to the sideline, throws a dart, caught by Siosi Mariner, and that'll be a first down. One of the things Bryce Perkins told us this week, Joel, is that his arm strength is better. He says, I'm throwing it as best as I have in my entire career.
Well, and he just sees man coverage out here, and soft coverage at that. Beautiful ball placement out there on the outside shoulder. A good rhythm here established early for Michigan and Bryce Perkins. I always felt like getting that first completion was huge, and I loved it to be an easy one. That's a good throw for Bryce to get this thing started.
First down, it's Towel with a blocker in front. Nice cutback. That's a first down, rumbling out near midfield to move the chains for Michigan.
Well, just overloading that left side. You pull a couple of offensive linemen over there, and they do a fantastic job of pulling around, and this is essentially adding extra gaps. So what you would need is fast flow from the defense over the top, but no one comes over the top following those pullers from the opposite side. Beautiful look here from Tawa. As look, that's what a running back. You want to play running back? He's got to run right at the backside of your offensive lineman like that. Nice look from the cam.
Yeah, usually when you see the backside of your own lineman, that's a pretty good run you got going.
Exactly right.
Perkins into pocket, trying to get away. He will not. Drop at the 45-yard line by Amani Bledsoe, who has now 1.5 sacks on the season for Arlington.
Yeah, Bledsoe is a guy that's a really strong player on the interior. He's 6'5", 280, and when you watch this rush, watch him just get right into the chest. Number 95 right there. He gets into the chest of the offensive guard. That's Cole Cabral, and just pushes him right back into the lap of the quarterback. As a quarterback, there's nowhere to go at that point.
Just a 7th sack allowed this year by Michigan, but 18.5 sacks this year for Arlington. Here's Perkins in a clean pocket, going deep down the sideline. He wanted Jalen Moore. The pass is incomplete. No flags are down, and it's 3rd and 14.
Well, the Renegades are just going with this man coverage. They believe in their secondary, and Chris Claybrooks is in coverage right here. He's in the slot, and so you get this route down the sideline. It's a decent route. That ball just a little bit too far to the outstretched arms of Jalen Moore, but I like the shot there from Michigan. If they're going to play man coverage like that, and in particular in the slot, get up in there, that bump technique right up in the face of the wide receiver, you've got to try to make them pay.
Best 3rd down team in the UFL, although 3rd and 14 is a different beast. In the pocket over the middle of the double coverage. He wanted more. That ball short, and it's 4th down.
This Arlington defense, I know they gave up a completion there and a nice couple of runs, but they are physical up front. This is a front that I think is one of the best, if not the best, in the league. And then this secondary is athletic. And you know, a team coached by Bob Stoops, they're going to play quality defense, and they certainly have this year. 2nd in scoring, #1 total defense in the league.
Michigan will bring on Seth Vernon to punt it away, try to play the field position game. Bouncing at the 5, though, and Vernon's punt into the end zone for the touchback. The Arlington defense does its job. What can they expect from Luis Perez and the Renegades offense?
What's so interesting, just from a viewership perspective, and certainly a former quarterback, I was more in the Perez mold, i.e. immobile. Right?
Stationary.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to, but you've got Bryce Perkins, who's so elusive and strong in the pocket, and Perez,
we got him.
You know, he's got to work hard just to, like, kind of be mobile.
Day-Day Hunter with the catch. No Kalen Balaj for Arlington. First game without him. He is out for the remainder of the year. So, Joel, who's some players to watch for this one?
Yeah, you look outside. Isaiah Winstead is a guy that sees their leading receiver. Sal Cannella has been very good for them. Fifth in the UFL in catches. And then defensively for Michigan, Frank Ginda is always up there. He's the leading tackler in the league. And Kai Nakua is a missile. All right, folks, watch 21 around this field. 21 is always around the football. Kai Nakua.
Quiet.
Second down and 9. Hunter the carry, and Day-Day Hunter swallowed up in the backfield. That's an outstanding play by Garrett Marino. As he was being blocked, he pulled him down with one arm.
Yeah, terrific job on the interior. And this is what's going to be hard for Arlington all day, I think, is without Balaj, I just don't think they're going to be able to run the football. So I would look to more spread sets and allow Perez to protect himself and be a point guard getting the ball out quickly.
Perez with time this time, and he finds an open man, and then Cannella, it's incomplete. Had it, lost it, never secured the catch. Maybe the best tight end in the UFL on a rare drop.
Yeah, and I love the route concept because he's getting soft coverage here from the defense. Okay, so you're going to see the safety, Arnold Tarpley, right there, and he's off. And then Cannella comes up and just doesn't quite complete, I guess, the process to catch. I don't know. I personally thought that was more of a catch fumble. You know, he catches it, he secures it.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
You go back to that catch point. Remember, it's always a process of the catch. And so, you know, we go to the Verizon Review Center, Command Center with the officials, and Dean Blandino will be taking a look at this. But it's the process. Do you secure the ball? Yes. Now, is there enough time to make a football move, or even do you make a football move a couple of steps? I think he did, and then the ball comes loose.
So the progress is we're going to go progress short. We're going to go progress short of the line to gain. So it's a catch, Adam. We're going to go 4th down at the 29.5-yard line. It's going to be the right hash. So it's going to
copy that.
Line to gain was the 30. So it's going to be 4th and a half at the 30, and we'll wind on the ready.
After further review, the pass was complete, but the runner was down short of the line to gain. It's 4th down.
I think that was a good call by Dean, but probably doesn't influence Bob Stoops' decision in this field position, this point of the game. He's going to punt it away. And remember, I think Bob's going to be more conservative all day long. Without his back, Kalen Balaj, and a quality defense, I think it's going to be a field position game for Arlington, trying to build into points as the day goes on.
Marquette King, one of the better punters in the league, a pretty good guy to have on your side as he boots this one to the 15-yard line. Not much room as Malik Turner is tripped up shy of the 25 at a timeout in Arlington. Bryce Perkins, offense, the former Los Angeles Ram. Talking with him this week, he said, I haven't heard from Matthew Stafford yet. He said, but maybe it's because my no-look difficulty was so low compared to the difficulty that he usually utilized. So he said, I got to get further back to impress Matthew Stafford.
Wasn't Staff's no-look a 3rd down in the Super Bowl against Cincinnati? I think it was a 3rd down. That was the most remarkable pass I think I've ever seen.
Mariner out across the 30-yard line. Well, you know, Bryce was with the Rams for 3 seasons, started against the Chiefs in 2022 when the Rams had a whole lot of different quarterbacks going through that starting room with injuries. Part of that Super Bowl 56 team. And, you know, there's not a bad idea if you're looking for a player from the UFL that could move on and be in the NFL this fall. You might be looking at a guy that's going to get some real attention from NFL GMs, and maybe one in the town he plays in for his home games this year in Detroit. Otawa gets yanked on as he turns the corner, and no gain on that play.
Well, I think what makes him so unique you know, in pro football circles is that he, with just his elusiveness and ability and his strength, can neutralize a pass rush. How do you do that? Well, you can do that as an individual or through scheme. And they do it with Michigan through scheme with the RPO, the run-pass option. What that allows them to do is stay on schedule. So 1st-10 turns into 2nd-5, turns into 3rd-2, and then the entire playbook is at your disposal. So right here, he can use a play fake or even a read play, run it himself, or throw it on the outside here on 3rd-2.
Gets the snap off in time. There's the toss off the hands of his intended target, Malik Turner. Everything but the completion on that play for Michigan.
Well, this is why staying on schedule is so important. Even though they don't convert here, see, watch, you're going to be in conflict. So you've got a conflict player on the outside. He's trying to come and blitz on Perkins, but Perkins has 3 options. He can hand it, he can throw it, or he can dump it off to the wide receiver, and he just can't find Turner right there. A little bit of a jump throw. That's a difficult execution pass. You'd love that one to be caught if you're Bryce Perkins, but they're going to have to punt it away.
Burns punt. Jaden Price at the 22-yard line. Price weaving across the 35. Good.
Better and better each and every year, you know, and Mike Nolan deserves a lot of credit for that. They're a team that is very sound from their scheme, and they found a quarterback now in Bryce Perkins, and I just can't emphasize enough how important that is.
Perez to the sideline on 1st down. Nice move. Canella up the sideline into Michigan territory, loping inside the 25 and down near the 20. Arnold Tarpley finally caught him, but Sal Canella, why do people say he's the top tight end in the UFL with plays like that after the catch?
Well, watch what happens here from Michigan's defensive perspective. You're going to get Tarpley down, and he's in man coverage, but as soon as he slips on Canella, now you just get athleticism on the outside, plus Tyler Vaughn's great block number 8 to spring Canella for about, what, 10, 12 more yards.
42 in total on the play, and now the lob to the end zone. One-on-one coverage out there. Isaiah Winstead working against DJ Miller of Michigan, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I know Bob Stoops has loved Isaiah Winstead this year. 21 catches, 216 yards on the year. But he said that Zay, as he called him, just came into camp with a totally different perspective and urgency to him this year. He bulked up a little bit. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. Certainly a guy that they trust in that one-on-one situation, but just couldn't haul it in.
Hey, run.
2nd down and 10. Back to work from the 21-yard line of Michigan. And a handoff, trying to find a move up the middle. There's 2 yards for Day Hunter. Brings up 3rd down for Arlington.
Now you've got points in your pocket if you're Perez, you know, and a play caller here. So the only thing you don't want to do is take a negative play, take a sack. You're looking at something, get the ball out quickly. You're getting some man coverage. Look for something in the middle of the field. You know, this is why Canella is such a weapon for them, is because if they get man coverage, generally speaking, in the middle of the field, it's soft coverage. Can you pick up those 8 yards with the soft coverage?
And Canella was all alone at the bottom of the screen. You saw him right before the snap, clapping his hands to let Luis Perez know, I'm uncovered, give me the football.
Well, there was a mistake on the defensive side. They couldn't get themselves lined up, and you're going to see, look, they're pointing out here. Nakua's like, hey, we need a corner, and so he's got to run out there. Nobody defending Sal Canella, and a good job by Canella to recognize, and Perez. You know, sometimes a quarterback, they had 4 wide, that was a quad set, 4-by-1. And so sometimes as a quarterback, your attention is on the opposite side with that 4-man side. But he saw the uncovered tight end, and it's a 1st down.
And roll to go. Perez tipped at the line of scrimmage. The pass incomplete. 2nd and goal, and let's listen into Chuck Long with the play call.
Let's go 12, Gopher. Dual left, Colt 6. Dual left, Colt 6.
Hey, dual left, Colt 6. On to ready.
Yo, left.
On tempo. Pull right. Bro. No. Get set.
The process just took too long. Now Perez doesn't have enough time at the line of scrimmage to really diagnose what's going on. Play needs to come in soon.
Day Hunter with the carry, and Hunter making it right as he gets to the goal line and stopped just short of a touchdown.
Boy, that is awfully close. Day Hunter kind of went low. It's just a matter of you know, when that body part actually went down. Look at that. Look at him go low and he continues to drive forward. And where is that football? Knee down right there. Boy, that is awfully close. I'm sure Dean's going to take another look at that because the tip of the football looks like it might touch the goal line there. And I think they're going to say that that knee was down just short. Holt Naylor's in here.
3rd and goal. Handoff, and nothing doing. Swallowed up in the backfield for a loss. 4th and goal and a decision for Bob Stoops.
I think that the decision is go for it. You've got the best defense in the league. If you don't get it, then the opposing offense, Michigan here in this case, is going to be inside the 2-yard line. So you go for this. This is a point in the game in the first quarter where you put your foot down as a coach and you go for it, and he's not going to do it. Oh. I think this would have been a great spot to pin Michigan back, even if you're unsuccessful. Now Michigan's in a really tough spot offensively. They're going to try to take these 3 points here with Havrasek.
19-yard, 20-yard try. And the field goal is good, and Arlington's on top, 3-0. Will you feel like you left points on the field if you're the Renegades? They take 3, but they wanted more.
In that game against DC, and they got a big win in that one at home.
Kickoff will bounce into the end zone for the touchback. As this Michigan offense comes out on the field, keep your eyes on the blind side. Jenny Tapp with more on Ryan Nelson.
Well, Ryan Nelson has some important jobs. Obviously, he's protecting Perkins, but how about this for another job? And what I love about this league, these guys do a lot. He also works in video games. He is an EA Sports motion capture actor for Madden, for the NCAA franchises. Take a look. That's actually teammate Cole Cabral. He brought him into the mix. So get this, guys. Nelson controls the entire O-line, which means when you're playing those video games, you're actually watching Nelson. He told me he loves it. Every month, 2 to 4 days, he goes to LA, goes to Vancouver to shoot for the video game. He also told me one of his favorite celebrations. There's one where he's actually doing a little celebration with a running back, a bench press. He doesn't actually play video games, guys, but how about that for another job? And he's a substitute teacher. These guys do it all. It really is impressive all around.
So if you're playing video games this weekend, you have something in common with Bryce Perkins because both of your blind sides are being protected by Ryan Nelson.
That's right. I thought he looked familiar, getting to play all those video games with my boys.
So first down and 10, out to the 20-yard line they go, and Nate McCrary with the carry on first down. A little stutter step, and McCrary picks up 4 to the 24-yard line.
It's not just the blind side, Ginny, but it's also their ability to run the football. And I'm going to be redundant on this because the nature of their offense is the fact that Bryce Perkins is at his best when he can put the defense in conflict. In order to do that, you've got to be on schedule. You can't run long yardage RPOs. The defense is never going to bite on that. So to stay on schedule, be in 2nd and 6, that's huge. The ability to run the ball on first down with that offensive line.
Malik Turner in motion. And off to McCrary again, and McCrary bowls forward for 2. The ball popping out at the end of the play. Scooped up by Willie Taylor III. He goes all the way into the end zone for Arlington.
Boy, when did that ball actually come loose?
On the field is the runner was down by forward progress. It's 3rd down.
Forward progress is not reviewable here, so they're going to say it was progress. Ooh, I don't know. That was close. It looked like McCrary was actually on top of a defender. There's Willie Taylor, Fox Vision cam right in his chest. There's the hand find. There's the football. What an angle.
But like you said, not reviewable because it was ruled progress had stopped. So it's 3rd and 4. Perhaps a break for Michigan. Perkins trying to take advantage. Steps up and he finds Mariner. Mariner down the sideline, sailing into Renegades territory and out of bounds near the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a great call when you get man coverage over here, and then what are you going to get? You're going to get some pressure, and that leaves a huge area of the field wide open, and you can attack this as a quarterback. You've just got to throw with touch. That's a beautiful ball right there. I've always said as a quarterback, you've got to have the ability to change speeds. That's a touch pass, although it's thrown low, and it's got to be out in front, and that's what allows Mariner to run through the ball, yards after the catch down the field, and that's a huge play to set this drive up now in positive territory.
Spotted at the 36, 1st down and 10 for Michigan. There's the conflict. Perkins had a man wide open, and he misses Malik Turner. Brings up 2nd and 10 as we listen in to Marcel Belfay with the play call.
Here we go. Let's go. L, Rambo Lee Crunch, bang corner pin. L, Rambo Lee Crunch, bang corner pin.
Let's go. L, Rambo Lee Crunch, bang corner pin. On the top, ready? L, Rambo Lee Crunch, bang corner pin right here. On the top. Stop. Yeah. Ready? What's it? Here we roll. Turn, what's up?
2nd and 10. Play fake. Perkins with pressure coming. The pass intended for Turner, and it's batted away. Good play by Miles Dorn. 3rd down play call.
Give me 11. All right, here we go, Bryce. We're gonna go Lexi vacant, Lucy, spin Fitch. Fitch is your man side. Lexi vacant, Lucy, spin Fitch.
Let's go. Lexi vacant, Lucy, spin Fitch. On the top, ready? Lexi empty. Lexi vacant.
Left formation, Lexi vacant means vacate, so it's an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers out.
Let's go.
3rd and 10 for Perkins. 4-man rush for the Renegades. Perkins to the sideline. Open is Turner, and Turner just crawling forward before he's touched, and is a half-yard short of the 1st down. If he doesn't slip, he's got it easy, but it's 4th down as we reach the end of quarter number 1 in Arlington.
Kevy steps up beautifully, gets away, gets the ball out to the edge, but Turner just the slip, and they've got a decision to make. It's 4th down Michigan as we go to the 2nd quarter. 3-0, Arlington's on top.
Clatt staying on the field, 4th and 1, and Mike Nolan says, let's go for it.
Bob Stoops just kicked the field goal, 4th and goal inside the 2-yard line on the previous series for Arlington, and Mike Nolan going to be aggressive here on 4th and 1, but remember the difference here. You've got a quarterback that is a threat with his legs. So you've got quarterback sneak at your disposal. It looks like that's where they're going.
Thomas up!
Perkins looking to sneak it and has it by plenty. Great push over the right side to get the 1st down.
You know, one thing, all you quarterbacks out there, if you're going to sneak, don't just bash your head right here. See the soft spot in the defense? You always sneak to the bubble. See how he sneaks over the bubble in the defense? It's just a little coaching point. I know it's kind of like nuanced, and it might be even common sense, but you'd be shocked at how many quarterbacks just try to rumble their way right into the wedge of the defensive line versus taking where the bubble is, the soft spot, and just diving for the 1 yard.
Devin Ross in motion on 1st down. Here's Perkins. He'll pull it. He'll keep it. Perkins on the run. 1st down and more. Inside the 10. Breaking tackles. Ball batted out of his hand. Bounces right back into his arms for a Michigan touchdown.
Kev, was he in? Was he not? I mean, he obviously recovered the fumble. Watch, he steps away. This is the strength I was talking about. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to celebrate, give it a little juice. Ball is out, no doubt about it, before the goal line. And then he hops on it right in the end zone. That is incredible. What a bounce. That's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Yes, we're clear on the score.
Listen, let's roll.
And it's no different than what we see every once in a while where somebody starts to celebrate before they get in the end zone and drop the football. He just let up.
Well, and I mean, great ball handling on that play fake. And again, that's a read. That can go to the running back, or he can take it on the outside. And Michigan will, again, continue to go for 1. That's something they've done all year long.
Perkins keeping and is stopped short. Conversion no good as Donald Payne is there to make the tackle with some help from Davion Nixon. But Bryce Perkins into the end zone from 24 yards out. for a Michigan touchdown, and the difficulty in defending Michigan. Couple-fold. One, you've got a mobile quarterback.
To participate. A little weird to be just spectating today?
Normally, yeah, when I come into the stadium, you have a different mode, you have a different energy. You're like, all right, I'm getting ready to hit somebody. So that's normally what I'm used to, but I enjoy this. And everybody's out here enjoying it. It's a sunny day, and I'm like, why not? I get to see my brothers too, so it's been awesome.
I know that your mom is here, and this is really special to all be together. Describe growing up in your household, what it was like, the Nakua family all together, the competitiveness, and just how much you guys all love the game.
I would say the two words would be love and competitiveness for sure. I think competitiveness came first. We were fighting for food. We were fighting to see who was going to be the best football player, the best basketball player. And then my mom was our head coach and the general manager, and there was love at the dinner table for sure. So we had the perfect balance of both.
I think that's important to highlight with Mother's Day tomorrow. She was the GM, the head coach. I love that. What should we know about your brothers today that you're watching? Anything that the audience needs to know?
I think one of the things I think our family were raised in was sacrifice. I think that's one of the best. Football is one of the greatest team sports, and coming from a big family, we're used to being around so many other guys, so many different personalities, and I think when you're able to put something above you and your teammates or the goal to win, it creates a great environment for football.
Last thing, any Mother's Day you want to shout out? Anyone you want to highlight right now? I know Mom is here, but what do you want to tell her?
Mama Nakua. I'm your #1 fan, as you're the favorite son I think that I am, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so glad I get to see you and you get to come out to the game to support us, and you made this all happen. So love you, Mom. You're the best.
Favorite son? I might have to go ask your brothers to see what they have to say about that. Thank you. Best of luck next season. It's so great to catch up.
Thank you, of course.
Thank you, guys.
Well, and Joel, I can confirm Bob Stoops and Mike Nolan have both agreed to allow Puka to play for either of their teams if he's really got the itch to play today.
Oh, I'm sure.
Second down, Perez. Pops, ball is out. Ball loose on the turf with the sack. And it looks like Arlington may have recovered at the bottom of that pile. No, it's Michigan football. The initial indication was Michigan football, although Ricky Lee has it in his arms as he comes up off the turf.
Well, you've got to have an internal
ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense.
And so as Perez scoots up in the pocket here, he's manipulating the pocket, and right there, once he pops, he knows he's got to run. He cannot make that extra move back to the middle of the field. As a quarterback, the decisiveness that you've got to have, it's a clock in your head. One close with your feet to the first man in the progression, then you're to the second man in the progression. Once you're to the third, you've got to be moving as if you're about to run. You can't make another decision or cut. So as he tries to cut back to the left, that clock has got to be going off, and he got walloped. Ball came out. Fortunately for them, they were able to recover.
Movement up front on 3rd and 14, and Cadence may have earned Arlington 5 free yards.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, this is something that Perez uses a lot, is that hard cadence. And sometimes it's worked to their detriment because they've got 16 false starts on the year with their offensive line. They had 4 last week. But he's told us in our meetings with him, he is not going to shy away from changing up the cadence. And he will require his guys to sit in there and, as he says, hold their water and be disciplined with the snap count.
Now 3rd and 9. 4-man pressure for Michigan. Perez steps to his right, throws to the sideline, incomplete. Kanai Lovely was there and had designs on a beautiful pick-6, but instead it's batted to the turf, and it's 4th and 9.
That's really good coverage right here, because as Perez scoots up in the pocket, he's going to try to exit over here on the right side. Watch on your right side over there. That's sticky coverage and a ball that probably needed to get out to the sideline a little bit more.
5-yard penalty.
Isaiah Winstead comes out of this break. You got to take him over to the sideline. As he stops, now the defender can recover and he can close that gap and the space and get in there to make a play.
But Arlington gets a break. You heard in the background, illegal contact is called on Adonis Alexander, number 19, and it costs Michigan an Arlington 1st down.
Yeah, so here's the contact right there. You see he's just kind of holding him past that 5-yard mark and just doesn't let him go. Even the arm is being held. That's an easy call.
Go, just go.
So fresh set of downs for Arlington. And on 1st down, over the right side. A little slippage out to the 31-yard line, and a little frustration for Day Hunter as we listen into the play.
Dixie, Pacer 6. Pacer 6.
Hey, JP. Hey, tell him. Here we go. Go. Turbo, sit up.
700 again. Ooh, and Hunter gets jarred to the turf by T.J. Carter. So much that it knocked the helmet off Carter.
All right, let's go.
11 Burnett. 3 Dixie right. H move. 51 Z snub. F choice. 3 Dixie right. H
3
move.
Dixie
51 Z snub.
H move. 51 Z snub. F choice. What's up, buddy? Sit up, 180. All right, sit up.
3rd and 6. That's Hunter in motion. Empty backfield. 5-man rush. Perez to the sideline. Floats it in beautifully to Deontay Burnett, who's got an Arlington first down.
So that's the F. See here, F choice. So he's saying, like, hey, if I get one-on-one over on this side of the field, I'm going to play the F choice. He can go inside or outside. And because the defender had heavy inside leverage, DJ Miller, number 14, it's an easy decision for Burnett, who can just take the outside angle right there. And then Perez is going to read whatever Burnett does, throw opposite, and they get the first down. Nice execution there on that F choice.
Turbo, sit up.
First down, Perez off the play fake. Looking for the open man, juggled and incomplete to Canella, but a flag is down.
Luis! Damn it, Luis.
Holding. Defense, number 32. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Kendrick Whitehead with the hold.
Well, you're going to get the hold, I believe, is right here on Canella. Canella's trying to get out of his break. I don't know about that.
Off right. Boot 3, Z
that's a tough whistle. You see this guy, Perez.
Full time.
Just can't quite get it there, but they had called that tug of the jersey prior.
Turbo, sit up.
I don't know. That was a tough whistle there.
Perez on first down, going deep down the sideline and just past the outstretched arms of Javonte Payton. So close to a big play for Arlington.
I mean, that one has got to be, you got to connect on this. So watch, you're going to get a little bit of a double move right here. So he stops and then he's down the sideline and Perez lays it right out there perfectly. He's got to go catch that ball. I mean, it's right out in front of him. If he's drifting towards the sidelines, if he just runs straight down the field, that's going to be a catch, maybe even a touchdown. Perez knows it. That's a good throw from Perez. In particular, on the run, kind of that soft roll to the right. That's got to be caught on the outside by Javonte Payton.
20.
Turbo, sit up.
On 2nd and 10, Hunter contacted from the minute he got the football, fights forward for positive yardage, and now a 3rd down play call from offensive coordinator Chuck Long.
Let's go Dixie 11. Dixie left. A 62. No, let's go Dixie right. 62. X hammer search. Dixie right. 62. X hammer search.
62. X hammer search. Also ready.
Close right. Go. Close right.
I don't know this for sure, but if I hear a search term, that's usually the back or the tight end in the middle of the field. So, like, watch out for Canella here. Some sort of choice route over the middle.
The sideline where he found his man. Did he get it inbounds to Payton? No, incomplete.
Boy, that was close. It was way out by the sideline, obviously, and Payton is trying to corral this. Watch the left toe. This is the toe he's trying to drag down. Is it up? I think it's up by the time he actually secures the catch. That's a good call by the official. That was close.
This broadcast shot.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under
when he
further
has
review.
control, I'm just looking at that drag.
Looking for control first, then you got to see if the toe is down.
Yeah. Here, go ahead. Go ahead, run. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. I just can't tell if that left foot is dragging or it's just coming off the ground. And that it's a stance. Had they ruled it a catch, we'd have to stay with it as well. Adam, after review, it stands. Ruling on the field, stands.
To further review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
Boy, and it's so close. I mean, just not even a shoelace difference between where his toe was and where the turf began.
You know, I always think of these replays, and I put them through the bar test. Kev, you know what the bar test is? There's no sound. You got 100 people in a bar watching the game. Like, how many people vote for, you know, if you take fandom out of this, I think that's a 50-50. I think you'd get like 50 people saying that's not a catch, 50 people saying that is a catch. That's how close it was.
The good thing about being in a bar is rarely do you have any disagreements. Marquette King fired up. 100 out of 100 would have appreciated the Marquette King celebration, but they're calling it a touchback, so negate the celebration. How close was the catch or no catch? Very close. Was it closer than this? The touchback or no touchback? We'll take it to your local.
Is allowing 47% completion percentage. That's #1 in the UFL. So I'm not expecting him to have his most efficient day, but if he can continue to make plays and stay on schedule, all the things that we've come to love about Bryce Perkins are showing up. The elusiveness, the strength, and then he's showing some of that touch as a passer as well.
Turn, what's up?
First down, the handoff to McCrary. McCrary fights his way across the 30 and down to the 31-yard line. And Joel, you talk about Bryce Perkins, and we were talking with him before the game, and he said, look, I'm seeing the field a lot better. I'm understanding leverages. I understand what defenses are trying to do pre and post snap. He said, my post snap recognition has gotten a lot better. This was all in response to, what are you doing better that an NFL team should take notice of you with your work in the UFL? And he said, my post snap recognition and my arm strength have really improved a ton since I was with the Rams. And the handoff for a yard or two to Nate McCrary. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, I'm going to second that for Bryce Perkins. Check out this post-snap recognition. You know, if you look at this last play, it's just this little zone read. And he's like, I'm about to get my head knocked off. So post-snap recognition of like, I better give that ball. Ah, and then he gets thrown to the ground like that. So I would back him up on that.
Hey, Trey.
3rd down and 3. Confusion here getting set.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. You're never going to get lined up. You might be able to get lined up and get the snap off. The problem is you will not execute.
30 seconds.
If you're rushing up to the line of scrimmage like that, it's 3rd down. You've got to move the chains. It's a smart timeout here with 6:49 left in the second.
Dead middle.
You know, one other thing that I would say, Kev,
here we go.
That's been important
they might
for
match
Bryce Perkins is that as he became the sole starter,
I'm going to go 10.
he's gotten more
10
reps.
Bryce, we're going to go 10, and we're going to go.
Execution has increased.
Yeah, I'm going to change
as he's not sharing the job with Danny Etling. So since he's
we're
become
go
just the primary starter, his play has gone to the next level.
10 personnel, give me. H to Rex Classy.
H to Rex Classy, Liz Money. On top, ready? H2.
3rd and 3 for Perkins and this Michigan offense.
We're good. Turn, what's up?
Pressure coming from Arlington. Perkins hangs in, throws a dart, finds Turner. 1st down and more. Turner into Arlington territory and tiptoes out of bounds near the Renegades 44.
Well, we're seeing a theme here all day long, and that's this man coverage that Michigan has been able to beat. And they're going to do it again here with Malik Turner. And Perkins hangs in there. The pocket is coming down on him a little bit in his lap, but he makes that difficult throw out on the outside. That's got to be thrown with a lot of pace and arm strength because you know the defender is going to close. If that ball is too far behind behind or too soft, it's going to go the other direction for 6. So a solid throw and a good turn back to the middle by Turner for that yak yards after the catch.
First down, swallowed up in the backfield. Terrific penetration up the gut from Amani Bledsoe. That's the second big play he's made in this first half.
Bledsoe right across the face of the guard, Cole Cabral. This is how you do it as a defensive lineman. He crosses his face and then just continues into the backfield. And that play had no chance, and it's all because of just quality defensive line play. You see him rip through with that left arm. He gets into the backfield, and a nice tackle for loss for Amani Bledsoe, who's been pretty good for them, guys. Bledsoe already today has made his impact in the backfield of Michigan.
2nd and 13, play clock down to 1 as the snaps comes to Perkins, who will throw quickly, and it's dropped at the 40-yard line. Oh, Mariner started to take off before he tucked it away. He had a good gain in front of him. Instead, it's 3rd and 13.
You know, the real jerk in me as a quarterback would want to bring him back to the huddle and be like, do you want me to put handles on it? But you can't say that. You might think it, guys, but you can't say it. It's 3rd and 13. You just got to move on to the next snap.
Can you say it after the season, like bring the highlight back at the end of the year?
No,
and say,
into the series.
One...
Kev, into the series. Yeah, once you're on the sideline, you can certainly say it.
Watch here, watch here. Here we go.
3rd and 13. Here comes pressure. Perkins able to get away. Buying time. Now going to run. Perkins out of bounds at the Renegades 38. Did he buy enough space to try a long field goal with B.T. Potter?
Boy, it's going to be close, or you can go for it. But again, the strength of the ability to break tackles. How many times do we see defenders slide off of Bryce Perkins? It happens all the time. He's not only athletic, but he is strong. You know, he's certainly not as big as Ben Roethlisberger, but this was the same type of thing that Roethlisberger had, is the ability to shed blockers in the pocket, and he's able to pick up enough yardage for Potter here to try a long field goal.
56-yard try. His long this year is 45. Potter's kick trying to bend. Does it get there? It does. B.T. Potter. Good from way downtown. And a 9-3 lead for Michigan. His long at Clemson was 52. His UFL long was 45. I say was because he's got a new long.
You think so? Yeah. Well, if we twice, we just changed it to Bo Jackson, so he'll pick it up again. All right. Well, see, if we can get a no-show Mike and we bring Mike and then he blocks it, then they do know. Yeah. But we haven't brought Mike all year. We'll hit the mic on the first one, but then he'll understand. He'll be waiting for our That's okay. If he doesn't, then we'll know what to do.
Interesting. Kai Nakua with head coach Mike Nolan, longtime defensive coach in the National Football League, says Luis Perez knows what's coming. He knows the play calls.
Well, Luis is a smart guy. There's probably no one in this league that studies more film than Luis Perez. We'll see if they can use that tendency. Listen, tendencies are great, and you got to know your own tendencies so that you can break them. You got to trust that the opposition is going to be prepared. This Michigan defense, they've been good so far today. Take a look at the pressure that they've been able to get into the backfield of this Arlington Renegades team. And even when they were able to get down there close to the goal line, again, quality defensive line play, stuffing it up on 3rd down, forcing them into a field goal. And Perez has been under duress. That was a big hit that he took from Ron Stone Jr. They were lucky to recover that fumble, but Mike Nolan with that defensive background, Kai Nakua, a smart player in the back end. They're going to try to dial something up that Perez has not seen.
Turbo, sit up.
Down over the middle, incomplete. He had T.J. Carter dropping back in coverage. Carter getting in the way of that pass, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, this is one of those. So like this right here, you're going to see Carter drop out. This is one of those where Perez thinks that he sees something. He's like, I've got an open area, and he does not expect the dropout from the defensive tackle. So there's T.J. Carter with a nice PBU. He's going to tell everybody about that too. All the big guys, they get any sort of stat on the stat sheet that's not just a sack, and they'll let you know about it.
Walter Palmer over the years, so T.J. Carter moving into that starting role today on 2nd down. And the slant, 1st down for Tyler Vaughns. As the Renegades move the chains, and it's first down, but Arlington's offense is stuck in the mud. No touchdowns in the last 20 possessions for this Renegade team. Some of it to defense, but Luis Perez will tell you, and he told us this all week, as did Bob Stoops, some of it's on them with their pre-snap penalty problems.
Yeah, that's certainly been an issue. They only had 2 field goals in the second half. Week 5 against DC. All those touchdowns were in the first half of that game. They only had 2 field goals last week against St. Louis. They did not go for it on 4th down inside the 5 earlier today.
Perez on first down, in trouble. Down he goes. The sack from Kenny Willicus. And it's 2nd and long for Arlington.
Well, the pressure certainly shows up. And Perez doesn't have a ton of time, but you can tell that he continues all day long to pump. And meaning like he wants to throw it in a general direction, and then he's got to pump and hold that football for a beat longer. It allows the rush to show up. And here's that zone on the opposite side, and you see a really nice job right there by Kendrick Whitehead getting under the route. He sees just one of those hook routes, and so he immediately takes off and gets under the route, and there's nowhere to throw it if you're Perez.
2nd and 17, they set up the screen. Blockers in front for Day Hunter, and Hunter to the 35-yard line before he's tripped up, and that should take us to the 2-minute warning in Arlington, with Michigan enjoying a 9-3 lead, and the Renegades hoping to double up. They'll get the football to start the second half, but right now Luis Perez and the Renegades just trying to find some rhythm. Perkins is coming up on the Progressive halftime show. 2-minute offense now for Arlington starts with a 3rd and 8 at the 35. 3 timeouts to work with if they can keep this possession alive with a first down. Hunter into the backfield in motion. Perez looking down the sideline. It is caught, and out of bounds goes Tyler Vaughns. Good throw, good catch. First down for Arlington.
That was a huge completion, and not only to get this drive going, but if they punt the ball away, Michigan gets the ball to start the second half. You know, so they would have a chance to double up, and they have the lead right now. So I know it's a long throw, far hash, all the way out there to the sideline, but Perez is able to make it. They move the chains, and now they're in business.
Down at 10 at the 49. The handoff is to Hunter, and Hunter gets a couple, nudging the football into Michigan territory.
Boy, that's a conservative play call, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of urgency. I know there's a lot of time. Listen, the clock is going to stop after a first down like the college rules. You can get out of bounds, obviously. But very conservative for a team that hasn't done anything in 20 drives. Love to see some more urgency. Is that a false start? Mike,
yeah, movement up front. A pre-snap penalty.
Okay, so the clock was running. Mike has the option of a 10 seconds retraction. Does he want it?
10 seconds.
Yeah, take no, leave it. All right, no 10-second runoff.
Well, why wouldn't he take the 10 seconds?
False start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So I guess
Michigan has declined the 10-second runoff.
Going to start calling timeout.
The clock will start on the snap.
That's trying to save
Please
time
reset the
and
game
get the ball back for his offense.
63 on turn, ready?
It's the only thing I can think of is that he's got 2 timeouts left. He's counting on a stop on 2nd and 3rd down, and 2 timeouts to get the ball back for his offense.
Yeah, that would be the only reason not to take that 10-second runoff.
There we go.
So now 2nd and 13. Perez under pressure. He's going to run, and he slides down at the 49-yard line with Frank Ginda closing in, and it's 3rd down, but no timeout used by Michigan.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. You've got to throw that ball. I mean, they're wasting a lot of time. They still have 3 timeouts. They're going to leave these timeouts in their pocket at this point. A bit of a mismanaged series here from Arlington.
Get out quick, Daddy. Get out quick.
Now 3rd and 10, just a 3-man rush. Pressure, even with the 3-man rush, but Perez finds an open man with 8 in coverage, connects with Burnett for an Arlington first down.
I got it. Hey, I got it. Go, triple.
Timeout. They're first. 30 seconds.
Well, against drop 8, you got to find soft spots in the zone. And watch Burnett. He's going to find this zone right here, and he's just going to hook up into that zone. And he does a good job of settling. So many times you see wide receivers drift or run across an open zone, but he settles and gives his numbers to the quarterback. And it's a nice little scramble up to a throw for Perez. And now they get a timeout. Trying to move this ball down into scoring territory here inside of 2 minutes.
Overcheck.
It's a big completion there.
Hey,
stay on the field.
Starting empty. But he's smart. You see yeah. He knew we were not. He just went big at run. Shot 41. Also ready. Latch. Hey, we're going. Hey, spin. Close right. Spin. No, ready. I said, huh.
It's down to 10 at the 34.
Hey, kill. Slide left. Slide left. Turbo, sit up.
Perez, draw play to Hunter. Hunter slips on his cut. Second time today that he has slipped on a cut.
Yeah,
triple.
Hunter.
Triple.
Every time he tries to cut off his inside
63,
foot.
63.
And he slips.
Triple. Hey, close right, Jackson. Here we go. Yeah.
Clock still running. Almost 30 seconds now. Down to 30 seconds before the snap. Perez hit as he throws over the middle. He finds Burnett. And a first down to the 19 of Michigan.
Clock stops for a first down. They'll probably take a timeout here. Save some of this time.
30 seconds.
There's going to get some pressure right in his face. Great rush from the left side of the offense. And look at that, right in his face. That is courage from a quarterback standpoint. You've got someone bearing down Rondell Carter, number 97, right in his chin. And he's able to still stand in there and throw it accurately down the field and move the chains. Those are the types of plays that earn the respect of the locker room right there. You know, you don't flinch, stand in there, you know it's coming, and you still deliver a strike. Beautiful job.
63. Alert the calls. Close right. Hey, switch. Hey, switch route. Switch.
Anything that's not over the first down marker, you got to call a quick timeout.
Turbo, sit up.
It's down to 10 from the 20. Perez stepping up, throwing for the end zone. In the back of the end zone, it is caught, and it's an Arlington touchdown. Tyler Vaughn's along the back line somehow got a hand under this, pulled it in for 6.
I tell you, this is a great throw. Obviously, the adjustment and the catch is incredible. We'll take a look at that just to see if he was able to corral this before hitting the turf. Hands under the ball. There he's down, elbow down, and he controls it through. That is beautiful on the catch side from Vaughns. But I tell you, this throw from Perez, watch, Vaughns is actually moving left, and Perez brings him back with the ball. See, Perez throws him open to that back shoulder, and then it's the adjustment by Vaughns to go get the ball. That's a great job. What a good series. Again, 20 series. They had not scored a touchdown, and then Perez leads them down. A couple of big completions, one on the third down.
Right tackle number 59 held,
taking some pressure, and he's still able to elude and get that ball in the end zone.
So now we've got a super challenge here. Michigan is challenging that Adrian Ely, the right tackle.
Michigan is challenging the ruling on the field of no holding foul against the right tackle. Previous plays under further review.
Okay, so he's got him with the right arm around the neck right there, and you can see. I mean, there's clear restriction. He's got him around the neck. That's a hold.
Oh my.
So you can see right here. So we're going to go back to the previous spot. Adam, you're listening. We do have a hold on 59.
Copy.
We're going to give you the previous spot. Was the 20-yard line left hash. It was 1st and 10. So we'll enforce the penalty from there, and your clock is good.
Copy that. After further review, there's a foul for holding. Offense number 59, 10-yard penalty. It's first down. And Michigan is not charged a timeout and still has one challenge remaining.
Still a massive problem for this Arlington team. Mistakes and penalties. They had 11 of them last week. This offensive line cannot get out of their own way. We saw a false start on this drive. That was their 17th of the season.
Dixie right.
They've given up the most sacks in the UFL. Just been a real struggle for those 5 guys up front.
What's up, ready? 350. Here we go. Bull.
But what a challenge by Mike Nolan. And that's the optimal usage of the super challenge, to take a touchdown off the board against your defense.
Turn, up.
1st and 20. Perez to the sideline. Connects with Vaughns. Since the touchdown was wiped off the board, that is now the 3rd catch of the drive for Vaughns. But now 15 seconds to go, and it's 2nd and long.
Hey, we're going to go Hulk left. Hey, we're going to go Hulk left. 63, 2-poster, wide bench. Onto ready? Cut your split. Run a corner.
Right.
Flat.
You finally get a touchdown on the board, and it's removed by a holding penalty.
Sit up, 180. I said, huh? Turn, sit up.
2nd and 14. 4-man pressure. Perez to the sideline looking for Canella. It's incomplete, and now 3rd and 14 with 11 seconds to go. The coverage from Kanai Lovely.
We can work anywhere on the field because you got the timeout.
Hey, we're gonna go. Hey, we're gonna go Duff. No, let's go. They're gonna go in the end zone. Hey, field goal range. Let's go. Dixie right. Pacer 7. Also ready. Hey, no. Let's go. Yeah. That's fine. We're good. Let's go. We're good. No, we're good. Gotta go. Let's go. Hey, you get yards.
2 for 2 on 3rd down on this drive. This is 3rd and 14, and the handoff is to Hunter. Day Hunter inside the 20. Fights his way down to the 15, and they just get the timeout with 3 seconds to go to run a field goal tryout.
Timeout.
This will be the
Arlington.